What do a kokoshnik and a chicken have in common? This question may sound peculiar, but it hides the fascinating story of how a simple folk headpiece transformed into a symbol of aristocratic luxury. How did a humble accessory worn by Russian women journey from rural homes to the halls of European palaces? Today, we embark on this captivating journey to uncover the mystery of kokoshniks, which, now fashioned as elegant tiaras, continue to grace royal collections worldwide. Before we begin, please support my channel by clicking on the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you. The word kokoshnik originates from the Old Slavic word kokosh, which referred both to a hen and a rooster. The striking crests of these birds seem to have inspired the shape of this headpiece. Just as a crest proudly rises above a bird, the kokoshnik rose above a woman's head, symbolizing her status and protection. Initially, kokoshniks were worn by married women, covering their hair as a sign of modesty and tradition. Over time, however, this headpiece became an essential part of Russian folk culture and court attire. By the 16th century, the wives of boyars adorned their kokoshniks with precious gems and golden fabrics. But it was in the 19th century that this element of costume truly flourished, becoming a mandatory part of court dress for empresses and grand duchesses. Russian kokoshniks, inspired not only by folk traditions, but also by European fashion, adopted elements of the Italian Renaissance and the arclet, a type of women's headdress popular in Europe. This fusion of Russian and European culture created a unique blend, where the opulent decoration of kokoshniks became a symbol of both national heritage and international luxury. One of the key moments in the kokoshnik's history was its transformation into a tiara. In the 19th century, thanks to the Romanov dynasty, the kokoshnik was adapted to European fashion trends for diadems, combining traditional shapes with the opulence of precious stones. Empress Maria Feodorovna, wife of Alexander III, popularized Kokoshnik tiaras, which soon began appearing at other European courts thanks to the family ties between monarchies. Her sister Alexandra, who became Queen of the United Kingdom, commissioned a similar tiara, cementing the kokoshnik trend within European royal circles. Today, kokoshniks, embodied as refined tiaras, can be found in the collections of the British, Swedish, and Luxembourg royal families. This traditional element of Russian culture continues to captivate with its beauty and symbolism, linking the past with the present and highlighting the uniqueness of royal jewels. Let me invite you to explore some of the most famous and beautiful kokoshnik-style tiaras. The Kokoshnik Tiara of Queen Alexandra. Queen Alexandra's Kokoshnik tiara is one of the most recognizable and luxurious examples of royal jewelry. It was first created in 1888 to celebrate the silver wedding anniversary of the future King Edward VII and Queen Alexandra. A group of aristocratic ladies raised funds and approached the royal jeweler, Gerard, to craft a tiara modeled after one worn by Alexandra's sister, Empress Maria Feodorovna. The result was a true wall of diamonds, composed of 77 diamond spikes, inspired by the traditional Russian kokoshnik. Interestingly, the tiara could be worn not only on the head, but also as a necklace, making it a versatile piece of jewelry. The tiara quickly became one of Queen Alexandra's most treasured jewels. In 1893, she wore it at the wedding of her son, the future King George V, to Mary of Teck. Over time, the tiara underwent several changes, and in 1925, after Queen Alexandra's death, it was passed on to her daughter-in-law, Queen Mary. Later, in 1953, the tiara was inherited by Queen Elizabeth II. For Queen Elizabeth II, the kokoshnik became one of her most frequently worn pieces. She adorned it at numerous state banquets, visits, and ceremonial events, including during her Commonwealth tour. The simple yet elegant design allowed the tiara to be paired with various necklaces and other jewels from her collection, including the Brazilian aquamarines and the coronation necklace. The last public appearance of Queen Elizabeth II wearing this tiara was at a state banquet in 2015 during the visit of the President of Mexico. The Swedish aquamarine Kokoshnik. The Swedish aquamarine Kokoshnik is one of the most striking jewels in the Swedish royal family's collection. This diadem, composed of 7 massive aquamarines set in a diamond trellis, has long symbolized refinement and elegance. It is believed that the tiara originally belonged to Margaret of Connaught, the first wife of King Gustav VI Adolf of Sweden. Although this masterpiece may not have been among her wedding gifts, it is thought to have been added to her collection later. The influence of the German jeweler Koch is evident in this piece, and despite the lack of direct Russian connections, the tiara resembles Kokoshnik's from that era. After Margaret's death in 1920, the tiara was inherited by her son, Prince Gustav Adolf, and his wife, Princess Sibylla of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. Princess Sibylla debuted the tiara at a ball ahead of her wedding in 1932, and since then the aquamarine Kokoshnik has become a staple at royal events in Sweden. When Princess Sibylla passed away in 1972, the tiara was passed down to her eldest daughter, Princess Margaretha. Despite rumors that the tiara might have been sold, in 2010, Princess Margaretha made a surprise appearance wearing the piece at the wedding of her niece, Crown Princess Victoria. Today, the aquamarine Kokoshnik remains a family treasure, available for use by members of the Swedish royal family. Since 2015, the tiara has adorned Princess Madeleine at the Nobel Prize ceremony, and in 2017, Crown Princess Victoria debuted it at the same ceremony, adding an additional diamond riviere to the base of the tiara. The Koch aquamarine Kokoshnik. Our next tiara was crafted in Germany around 1910 by the renowned jewelry firm Koch, which is also known for creating other classic royal Kokoshniks, such as the Prussian tiara, which we will also discuss later. The tiara showcases the masterful use of stone shapes. Large aquamarines and diamonds are set in a platinum and gold frame, creating an exquisite and balanced design. Later, earrings and a necklace with aquamarines were added to the set, although they were not part of the original parure. This tiara is attributed to Alexandra Feodorovna, the last empress of Russia, who was known to adore aquamarines. However, despite Alexandra's fondness for this gem, there is no confirmed evidence that she ever wore this particular tiara. After the imperial family was overthrown, the fate of the jewel remains a mystery. While many imperial jewels were meticulously catalogued and photographed by the Soviets for future auctions, the aquamarine Kokoshnik was not among them. There are numerous rumors surrounding the tiara's fate after the revolution. One version suggests that it was acquired by the London jeweler Wartsky, specializing in Russian jewels, about 2 years after the Romanovs' tragic end. Another theory claims that the tiara was secretly sold in Paris by Soviet officials. Subsequently, in the 1980s, the tiara was sold at a Sotheby's auction in Switzerland, and it was privately resold in 2014 at Christie's. Interestingly, this tiara, or possibly a replica, has periodically appeared in public. For instance, in 2017 it was worn by Astrid Bernadotte, a granddaughter of Folk and Estelle Bernadotte, during her wedding reception. But perhaps the most unusual wearer of the tiara was a woman named Queen Caroline of Ladonia, the ruler of a micronation in Sweden. Today, the jewel finds new life as it has been acquired by the Japanese-based Albion Art Institute, one of the world's largest private collections of historical jewelry. The Greville Emerald Tiara. The Greville Emerald Tiara is one of the most captivating royal jewels to resurface from the royal vaults in recent decades. This Kokoshnik, crafted by Boucheron for the famous philanthropist Margaret Greville in 1919, remained hidden from the public for a long time. When Mrs. Greville bequeathed her entire collection of jewels to Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, in 1942, the emerald tiara became part of the royal collection. However, despite the Queen Mother's love for Greville's jewels, she was never photographed wearing this tiara. It wasn't until decades later, in October 2018, that the tiara returned to the spotlight. Princess Eugenie of York, the granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II, chose this Kokoshnik for her wedding to Jack Brooksbank, held at St. George's Chapel in Windsor. the emerald Kokoshnik immediately became a sensation, thanks to its unique design and the large cabochon emerald at its center. This tiara, adorned with diamonds and 6 emeralds on either side, perfectly complemented Princess Eugenie's bridal look. She paired the tiara with diamond and emerald earrings gifted to her by her husband, creating a harmonious ensemble. Princess Eugenie chose not to wear a traditional veil, allowing the tiara to take center stage as the main adornment of her wedding attire. I am truly captivated by the emerald Kokoshnik and eagerly look forward to seeing this magnificent piece make another public appearance in the near future. The blue enamel Kokoshnik. The blue enamel Kokoshnik, once owned by the Duchess of Westminster, visually stands out as one of the Kokoshnik tiaras closest to the traditional Russian design, with its characteristic curved lines and patterns emphasizing the halo-like shape. This stunning piece was created in 1910 by the renowned jewelry house Chaumet. The tiara combines sparkling rows of antique-cut diamonds with delicate floral motifs of forget-me-nots set against a vivid royal blue enamel background. This enamel element mimics the traditional fabrics used in Kokoshniks, creating a striking contrast with the diamonds. The tiara was purchased by Hugh Grosvenor, the 2nd Duke of Westminster, in 1911 as a gift for his first wife, Constance Cornwallis West, better known as Sheila. It is believed that the Duke bought the jewel specifically for the coronation of King George V and Queen Mary, so that his wife could shine at the grand balls and banquets held around the event. However, their marriage didn't last long, and in 1919, the couple divorced. After the divorce, the Kokoshnik remained with the Duke. Over time, as often happens with family heirlooms, the tiara was sold when the family faced financial difficulties. However, the Kokoshnik eventually returned to the Grosvenor family when one of the Duke's heirs repurchased it, restoring the jewel's historical connection to the family. Despite this, the tiara was once again put up for auction. In 2015, it was offered for sale at Christie's in Geneva. The Vladimir Sapphire Kokoshnik. This tiara was created by the jewelry house Cartier in 1909 for Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna, also known as Grand Duchess Vladimir. At the center of the tiara was an impressive 137-carat sapphire, surrounded by smaller sapphire cabochons that once belonged to Empress Alexandra Feodorovna, the wife of Nicholas I. After Maria Pavlovna's death in 1920, and after her jewels were smuggled out of Russia following the revolution, the sapphire Kokoshnik was inherited by her eldest son, Grand Duke Kirill, and his wife, Princess Victoria Melita of Edinburgh, better known as Grand Duchess Victoria Feodorovna. In exile, the couple faced financial difficulties, but fortunately for them, a buyer was close at hand. The purchaser was none other than Queen Marie of Romania, sister of Grand Duchess Victoria Feodorovna, who had lost her own jewels in Russia during World War I. The tiara became one of Queen Marie's most important jewels, frequently appearing in royal portraits. However, fate once again intervened. After World War II and the fall of the Romanian monarchy, the sapphire tiara left royal hands once more when Marie's daughter, Princess Ileana, sold it to Cartier for practical reasons. Sadly, Cartier dismantled the tiara, and this remarkable Romanov jewel was lost to history forever. Princess Cecilia of Prussia's Fabergé tiara. The Prussian Kokoshnik, created by the jewelry house Fabergé, is a true masterpiece, combining sophisticated design with masterful craftsmanship. It was created in the late 19th to early 20th century and has become a symbol not only of exceptional jewelry work, but also of its unique place in royal history. This Kokoshnik was a wedding gift for one of the most beautiful and distinguished princesses of her time, Crown Princess Cecilia of Prussia. Her marriage to Crown Prince Wilhelm of Prussia in 1905 was one of the most significant events of the era, and the Fabergé Kokoshnik took pride of place among the many precious gifts. Cecilia came from an aristocratic family with Russian roots. Her mother, Grand Duchess Anastasia Mikhailovna, was the granddaughter of Emperor Nicholas I. This Kokoshnik was crafted in Fabergé's classic style. a delicate trellis structure of diamonds adorned with clusters of larger stones at the center of each element, giving the tiara a refined elegance. This design makes the piece both majestic and delicate, perfectly suited for a royal figure. Cecilia's Kokoshnik became a symbol of her status and beauty. She is depicted wearing it in numerous portraits from that time, showcasing the tiara's magnificence and exclusivity. Maria Vladimirovna's Pearl Kokoshnik. Maria Vladimirovna's Pearl Kokoshnik, worn by one of the claimants to the Russian throne and head of the Romanov family, is as intriguing as her dynastic status. Maria is the granddaughter of Grand Duke Kirill Vladimirovich and Princess Victoria Melita of Edinburgh. Kirill, who survived the revolution, was one of the senior Romanovs and proclaimed himself a pretender to the throne, making his descendants, including Maria, heirs to a highly contested claim to the leadership of the Russian imperial house. The pearl kokoshnik that Maria wears at official events harks back to the jewelry traditions of the glorious past of the Russian Empire. The tiara is adorned with rows of pearls and stones resembling diamonds. Although the design of the kokoshnik is clearly inspired by Romanov jewelry traditions, the authenticity of the stones has been questioned. Some experts believe that the tiara may be set with synthetic stones, but no definitive examination has been conducted, leaving the true nature of the kokoshnik a mystery. Despite potential doubts about its authenticity, this kokoshnik has become Maria Vladimirovna's favorite adornment. She has worn it at several major royal events, including the weddings of Prince Albert II of Monaco and Prince Georg Friedrich of Prussia. Thank you for delving into the world of royal tiaras and discovering the stories behind these majestic jewels. Which of these Kokoshnik tiaras captivated you the most? Do you have a favorite among them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss new fascinating stories about royal jewels and their owners. See you in the next episode.